conflict in the Middle East. Now, why does it do this?
All right, stay there. We're going to come back and talk about that with our guest, Alan Hart. Stay with us. Hi, this is Alex Jones. Did you know that the global elite are now storing non-hybrid seeds in secret storage vaults near the Arctic Circle? Did you know that in a real meltdown, non-hybrid seeds can become more valuable than silver or gold? It's true, seeds have outperformed even gold and silver before in this country, and it's possible that could even happen again. So our friends at Solutions from Science have put together the perfect mix of non-hybrid seeds. They call it a survival seed bank, and it can produce an endless supply of nutrient-dense food for you and your family. And here's the best part. These seeds have not been genetically modified in any way, and you actually get enough seeds to plant a full-acre crisis garden. So visit them today at survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com, or give them a call at 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Remember, in a real crisis, non-hybrid seeds are the ultimate barter item. This is Alex Jones for survivalseedbank.com.
You worry. You see the signs and worry about the future. You worry about economic turmoil and food shortages. How to be prepared while preserving your sanity. Your answer may be at hand. Author Linda Runyon lived off the land, isolated from civilization. She knows that as long as the sun shines, there will be plenty of free food all over God's green earth. Perhaps the only sane insurance is knowledge of wild edible plants. The cost of learning is minimal. Wild food grows everywhere, and you will see it everywhere. It's every bit organic and more nutritious than our modern diets. Well respected in her field, Linda's approach to teaching this subject includes books, flashcards, and video with an emphasis on health, safety, practicality, and joy. Learn how to identify it, where and when to find it, how to prepare, use, and store it. Go to Linda's website, ofthefield.com, and take advantage of special offers. Or if you're not online, call her 24-hour toll-free order line at 888-51-EAT-FREE. That number again, 888-51-EAT-FREE. A little knowledge makes starvation impossible.
The problem.
How do I cook food without power?
How do I light my home with no electricity?
How do I get emergency radio broadcasts?
How can I make safe drinking water?
When your power goes out, the solution for cooking, baking, home lighting, listening to the radio, and producing clean water is the Family Emergency Kit from Karo Stove. Karo Stove has been in business for over 12 years with the largest selection of kerosene stoves and family preparedness supplies in the U.S. Now, get the Family Emergency Kit at KEROstove.com for only $429 plus shipping, a savings of nearly $200. It's perfect for off-the-grid living. Call 888-395-1164 today. That's 888-395-1164 and ask about weekly specials or check the specials online each week at KEROstove.com. Again, call 888-395-1164 or go to KEROstove.com. Karo Stove for family emergency solutions.
Federal agents, we are armed!
Well, we know this. 9/11's an inside job, and they blew those buildings sky high. And all the major Western governments up to their eyeballs in knowledge of it. And people inside government, it has the dual effect where people that are in the know get even more scared and self-censor. And the general public buys into the lie, and then they're ready to believe the next lie about WMDs or whatever's going on. But when you have all of these, these 4 or 5 big lobbies, when they line up on an issue and when it helps all of them, you better believe you're going to see a movement. And it's just horrible. But Alan Hart, 2 points. Going back to these top engineers you're talking to, were they horrified after they saw the information, A? And then B, are you not seeing the massive awakening where people are just sick of self-censoring, and we are seeing everybody come out of the woodwork, just telling the truth now? And I think the system is very afraid.
Well, Alex, I think something very important is happening. I mean, what I'm learning on this first of what I hope will be several trips to America is that most Americans, most English people, most Europeans, as citizens and voters, we have one thing in common. We now loathe all of our politicians. Isn't that what we have in common?
All the polls show it. For the first time in history, both parties are universally hated.
Well, the last time I saw a poll, I think Congress's rating was down to 21% and falling to 20%. Now, that is very serious. So maybe what we are witnessing is the beginning of a process in which people are beginning to wake up. But what they've got to do, Ray, is to make their feelings known and say, up with this, we are not putting. But let me speculate to a nightmare scenario. In Britain, we're heading for 3 million unemployed. Now, it's calculated that if we pass that, and we will, there'll be rioting on the streets. Look at America. If the economy continues to go bad, and in my view it will, your economic situation is going to go worse. Go into next year, the economic situation gets worse, you have a long hot summer, I believe you too will have rioting on the streets. The problem is, the system wants that. That gives the system the opportunity to bring in martial law and buy what passes for democracy. That's my fear.
Wow, Alan, and we have the IMF World Bank documents that were leaked when Stiglitz, the Nobel Prize winner, left in 2002. The IMF calls it the IMF riot. You're absolutely right, and they're admittedly gearing up for it all over Europe, England, and the U.S. This has been a planned implosion, just like the Goldman Sachs documents show.
Yeah, I mean, I think the truth is that almost all of our politicians loathe democracy or what passes for democracy and simply like to shut it down.
Well, we've seen Obama's people, Bush, they're constantly saying, what we saw, the famous director came out, Woody Allen, just last week and said it'd be great if Obama was a dictator. We should just lock up all the people that disagree with him, and they're serious.
But the name of the game, I think we're not disagreeing, Alex. The name of the game is informing people to give them the possibility, empowering them to make their democracy work before it's taken away from us.
And I agree, but to make it work, we've got to be hardcore like you are and just tell it like it is. You know, you go in and you got brain cancer and it's operable. You don't tell them they got a sprained ankle.
Right. Right. It comes down, Ray, to what one feels about the potential of Americans. And let me tell you this. I've said it publicly before. I have a love-hate relationship with America. On one level, I think most Americans, generally speaking, are the most misinformed, underinformed, gullible people on earth. That's the bad news. The good news is that deep down, I think they are the most idealistic. And if they were properly informed and well-led, I think they could not only turn their own country around, I think they could give the world the lead it needs. Am I being naive for thinking that?
No, you are spot on. That's why we're brainwashed. That's why we're dumbed down, is because they understand we've had the greatest liberty in history here, and it's a contagion to the elite. Back in 1 minute with our amazing guest.
You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Hi, this is Alex Jones. Did you know that the global elite are now storing non-hybrid seeds in secret storage vaults near the Arctic Circle? Did you know that in a real meltdown, non-hybrid seeds can become more valuable than silver or gold? It's true, seeds have outperformed even gold and silver before in this country, and it's possible that could even happen again. So our friends at Solutions from Science have put together the perfect mix of non-hybrid seeds. They call it a survival seed bank, and it can produce an endless supply of nutrient-dense food for you and your family. And here's the best part. These seeds have not been genetically modified in any way, and you actually get enough seeds to plant a full-acre crisis garden. So visit them today at survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com, or give them a call at 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Remember, in a real crisis, non-hybrid seeds are the ultimate barter item. This is Alex Jones for survivalseedbank.com.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Well, he's one of the most respected BBC reporters in Middle Eastern coverage history. And I'm going to get him back on the next month to talk about his friendship with the founder of Israel. And more. I mean, he really is a Middle Eastern journalistic icon for his coverage of that, very respected. And the fact that in the weeks after 9/11, he talked to top engineers, they did an internal study, just like Underwriting Laboratories did, and found out it was a controlled demolition, and then they fired their engineer who went public with it. Alan Hart has been on the show with us in the last hour, and we are going to have him back up. But we can't afford to let 9/11 become 45 years old like Kennedy. We can't allow another 9/11. And there's no doubt they've used it to set up this police state domestically to attack the world. This is the excuse for the authoritarian system. And if you look at the czars 100 years ago, they'd bomb a building, round up a few thousand dissidents. In closing, I think the 9/11 fraud has unraveled. The polls show that the system is